Surrealism is a type of art that is above and beyond what is real. That is what surreal actually means. It features things that we know are real, things we're familiar with, such as people and animals. With art, you can use your imagination to make things that just can't possibly be real. A century ago, when surrealism became popular, artists didn't have AI or even computers. They transformed reality using their artistic skills. Artists would look most often to nature, including plants, animals, and of course themselves. Surrealist Dorothea Tanning had pet dogs that were very important to her, so she painted them, acting like human friends. Lenora Carrington used horses, hyenas, and other animals to represent different aspects of her personality. Frida Kahlo said that she painted monkeys to represent the children she was not able to have. So let's fire up our imaginations today and make a surreal piece of art that combines something representing ourselves, which would be our hand, with something out of the plant or animal kingdom. We'll start with a simple hand tracing on a piece of cardboard, poster board, or I happen to have railroad board here. You can trace one or both hands. It might be easier to work with a partner, especially for younger students. You'll probably want to include some wrist and some forearm. This can always be trimmed off later if you feel like you don't need it. While we're cutting these out, let's take some time to think about some of the qualities that we enjoy in certain plants and animals. I just love a giraffe's long neck. How about an elephant's floppy ears? What about birds or sea animals? Make a list of the things that you like, not just the way things look, but how plants and animals behave. We all like gentle animals, but what about animals who know how to defend themselves or escape quickly? Now, when cutting out a hand, sometimes young children find it difficult to get down into these crevices. So, to make that a little bit easier, I suggest cutting down to the lowest point first. That'll make it a little bit easier to get into those spaces. Children might have a little difficulty cutting out their hand. It might not look quite exactly accurate, but this project is a lot more about what they can do with their hands rather than an accurate representation. We'll keep these scraps just in case we need them, or if we want to add on a tail or some wings or something like that. We're going to take that list that we had of things that we really liked about animals, and we're going to make a surrealistic creature that possesses some of these qualities. It can be a blend of a few of these things. Why not? First, let's gather some art and craft supplies. Paper that is already printed with animal patterns is a great thing to have on hand. You can also create your own patterns on construction paper or tissue paper using markers or crayons, or use some unexpected papers just because you like them with glitter or patterns on them. You could cut images from magazines or books. Fabric works great. Pom-poms, fluffy fuzzy yarn, and cotton balls are great for imitating fur. Other items you might want to have on hand are feathers, sequins, craft stems, faux flowers or leaves, and wiggle eyes, or as some of you say, googly eyes, are a must-have. Now, to attach these things. When doing a collage like this, I find it very helpful to water down a little bit of white glue, or I also really like to use some gel medium. Gel medium stays soft and does not have any sort of cracking. It's perfectly clear. Either of these options can be mixed up ahead of time in a container. Just keep the lid on it and it will last for quite a while. You can take a piece of paper that you like and put the hand on the back side, trace around the pattern and cut it out again. You have to get it perfectly on that way, so I'm going to demonstrate a way that I prefer that's more of a decoupage pattern. So what I like to do is take the paper, tear off pieces, and then apply them over the hand. We'll start by brushing some of the glue, or in this case, gel medium, and laying the piece down into it, and brushing over the top of that piece. Put a little on the back so that I can wrap the edges, like so. You can also brush the medium onto the paper and apply it. If you'd like, you can allow a little bit of wrinkling. That comes in handy sometimes to get a little texture. Now we can mix up our animal this way a little bit. Let's combine a little giraffe and zebra. When it's time to wrap around the fingers, you can either tear or cut to get those around the finger edges. It's important to have a balance between fantasy and reality. So try to keep the hand looking like a hand with the fingers still visible. Now, to apply other elements to this creature, it's best now to perhaps use some white glue in order to get it to stick a little bit better. Now this can be hung on the wall with an entire menagerie of surreal creatures, or you could finish the backside as well and design a stand-up piece using the leftover scraps of cardboard. To do that, I'll use this piece right here. Take a scrap of cardboard. If you can find the edge and make a triangle piece, then bend part of that aside. Take the glue and run it around the bent piece, and then attach it so that the bottom of the triangle lines right up with the bottom of the hand, and you will have a standing piece. Now, for fun, you can name your creature and even imagine a short story to go along with it. Tell us where it lives, what it eats, what it's like. There's nothing like it in the whole world. For more about this lesson, including the suggested materials, step-by-step instructions, and national standards for visual arts education, visit dickblick.com/lesson plans.